Hello, footies, and welcome to this Xmas special of your favourite show. Episode, let me think, 649. There's a wee in joke there as one of my co-hosts gives me the evil stare. Welcome. It's nearly Santa time. I'm here with my Santa hat on. We're going to do a little bit of a Christmas carol. We're going to look at FC 24-25, a bit of the Footmas past, the Footmas present, and the Footmas future. But who better to have on the show tonight than the two Johns? Nobody better. He sounds like Krampus. You're not at a Foot and Review only fans. It is his voice. Unfortunately, he's a little bit sick. Hello, John. How are you, my friend?
Hey, mate. I'm all right. I'll just keep my radio voice on today and talk very softly.
You're actually sounding a bit better than you were claiming to be.
Well, definitely. And like yesterday, I had one call for school yesterday where I had to give some explanations. That was quite awkward because halfway through I just lost my voice completely. And the teacher was like, "Are you all right? Like, if you want to talk about it, like, yeah, that's the issue. I just can't talk. It's nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is it. This is all I've got left." So yeah, now I've had a nasty flu honestly since this Sunday morning, and I get a day ill sometimes, but never like 3 days completely flat out in bed with a fever. So yeah, it kind of took a hit on me just before Christmas, honestly. So I'm glad you're taking the reins today, Chris.
Well, rain's been the optimum word. Why did Rudolph and Blitzen not be sold on eBay? Because they were too dear. More Christmas jokes to come, guys, but he is the fairy on top of our Foot and Review Xmas tree. The man with the glorious smile. He's on brand tonight. Here's my good friend, Talking Foot. How are you, John?
Very good, thanks, Chris. Yeah, and obviously got a bit of a cough myself, but not as bad as John's, so I'll take that as a win.
So if the people start to drop off, you know what's happening. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of flu going around the Foot and Review podcast at the moment. But tonight we are going to look back, as I say, on FC 24-25. What was good for us this year? A little bit of content, and then we're going to have our Christmas wish going into the new year. So a bit of the future ghost. But John, start us off. What has been your week like in foot?
It's also always awkward when you have two Johns on the show.
Exactly, but I'll go with you, John, since you spoke first.
No, I had no weekend foot. Completely honest, like I've been, I said bedridden since Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So this morning was the first day I was actually out of my bed. No weekend foot. Honestly, I did a lot of SBCs. Glad the 82 times 14 came back yesterday. I think because I had nothing else to do. Just I watched season upon season from Amazon series this week, and well, grinded some menus for a change. Two things I really like though this week. First one is the 82 times 14 coming back, like I said, but also the new League SPC thingy that came out that gave a guaranteed promo player. That's a good thing, right? Make it viable for anyone. Daniel and Nathan spoke about it this Tuesday. I think that's it's a win. I mean, I got Conte, which is of course a win. Like it's not a million player or something, but it's a good 200k or something player. Always good to have. It wasn't too hard. Was nice. Hard to rate when you don't play.
Yeah. So, well, for content-wise then, what would you get for content, John? Let's give it a score anyway.
It feels like a good 7.5, maybe out of 10.
Take that this week then, we'll take that. John, have you actually played then, Talking Foot? Have you played this week?
Yes, I have. So I run two accounts. I run my main account, which I only got to. I don't know why took the 5 wins and thought I'll get the rest of the wins later, and then just was not motivated to play. So didn't pack anything. Team's exactly the same. Didn't even get my token for whatever the tokens get you now, because I only played the 5 wins. So a bit like, silly, my mistake. That's what it is. On my other account, which is purely a St. Johnstone past and present, it's a challenge because, again, Evos came out. but my right back doesn't fit the Evo because he has too dribbling too much. My other right back doesn't fit because I've already Evo'd him, and it just becomes that cycle. So that team hasn't really improved much either. Again, haven't did some SBCs, didn't pack anything. So I'd give it a 6. The content is there. John's right. The Globetrotters, stuff like that. I think it was really good players, easily achievable. But for me, both teams are static. Didn't get tokens in either team because I only went to 5 wins on both of them. Didn't really think about it properly. And it's a bit like, oh dear. Okay, my bad. What about you, Chris?
I've been doing a lot of friendlies, and this is, when we start talking about what EA have done well, trying to give them a little bit of festive cheer towards them. That's what I've enjoyed. I've played a lot of friendlies this week, and doing that, try and get this season points, because I looked at it, didn't realise that the Canati card is actually upgradable. So here's a live card. I believe if Liverpool are top the league on January the 3rd, he gets a +2 and a play style as well. So that card is well worth doing for anybody who's out there. You've still got to the end of next week, and if the friendlies are there with the national team, well worth giving it a go. Definitely. Because I looked at it and went, playing terrible at rivals, not even ventured into Weekend League, even though I am qualified for it. Enjoying squad battles, but this week's been mostly concentrating on friendlies. And MD who comes up against Foot Review GPM, please be advised, if you score first and pause, we are going to fight to the bitter end, because we do not give up. Happy to pause and quit out myself at Golden Goal, but please don't press the pause button for me.
Good man, good man.
But I'm sure there's a lot of people think I'm wrong. I'm sure there's a lot of people abusing me when the pause goes past those 30-odd seconds and I'm back in the game, but that's just me. I'll pause myself and quit out when you score first, but please don't do it for me. But there has been, let's jump anyway to a bit of the ghost of the Christmas past. FC 24-25. What has been your highlight of this year, please, Coach John?
My highlight of this year?
Mm-hmm.
Game
Foot
related or
related,
community
please.
Related?
It can be anything foot related.
No, food related. I think the events and generally speaking, the community, right? I know it's a toxic. We see sometimes the community as a toxic community, but the things we have experienced with this community we built with this podcast this year, and the things we do for each other when something goes south for someone. If it's a card, sending a card, or you're receiving a random message, or giving a shout out on a podcast, or meeting someone for first time in an event, but actually they flew over from a different country and act as if they were your long lost brothers. I think the community is just the biggest highlight for me, without any attachment to the game necessarily. It doesn't matter how good or bad the game is. The community only got stronger. That's my absolute highlight. If I talk about the game itself, I think the fact, but we'll talk about that soon, but I think FC 25 there's things not gone wrong, but I think it's shown a lot of positive things, that they took feedback from last year, changed it into this year. The communication has been getting better. I like the rush mode. It was something I didn't play anymore, but again, they took that into consideration. So there's a lot. I think there's a lot of things that are have been improved and is being built upon. That's something that I really appreciate from the game itself. Honestly, I won't go into the negatives today, though.
No negatives, John. And talking foot, what about yourself? What's been your highlight of this year?
If we talk about the game itself, I think if FC 24, I got into Div 2. Now, I'll put that in perspective. I am a 53-year-old male with arthritic fingers, no patience, a chip on my shoulder. So I was absolutely delighted at that. So that gaming wise, that was it. But I think realistically, it's what John talked about. It's the community, the Edinburgh meetups, the Creep meetup. Absolutely fantastic community this podcast has got. And yeah, the messages that you get on a daily basis, just the pick me ups, sort of the virtual cuddle. Yeah, it's brilliant. That's what it is. That's why I'm still playing it, even though my FC 25 isn't as good as FC 24. The community is why I'm still here.
No, I wholly agree. all three of us went to Crete this year, and we got to see my fellow Socrates lover and Marios and his family had an amazing time, and we all met up again in Edinburgh. This community is really something special. We really do appreciate it. And guys, it's free to join. It's absolutely free to join the Discord. Look us up, Discord/Foot Review. You know, if you really want to help us, we know times are tough and it's hard at the moment. You know, Christmas is here and everyone wants a present. But am I right in saying, John, you can now gift a sub in the Patreon?
Yeah, so that's something we've introduced. I'll put the link in the show description. But we had some chats with Patreon, and they were very kind to offer this new functionality. So you can now go to, I think it's patreon.com/footandreview/gift. And you can gift someone a sub as well, which is, it's really cool, I think. And we have had that question before, where we couldn't do it. So, but this is a good way of employing that. And I think the events, sure, everything is like the Discord's free, the community is free to join, and you can all chat to help each other out. But I think the Patreon not only supports us, but it also gives access to the extra events, right?
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to organize events like the ones in Edinburgh, and especially the one in Crete, which will also include a free stay in a hotel for the whole week. So, I mean, it's not like we make money off it. We invest back in the community as well. So
no, it's absolutely amazing. It's well worth joining the Patreon and well worth coming to Crete just to have that amazing time with fellow individuals. And likewise, partners are invited. We say this every time. Partners are invited. It's not heavily FC related. It's more about getting to know people, having a few drinks at the end of the night, and that wonderful view in Maris's wonderful bar as well. So, yeah, well worth joining, guys. If you're thinking about it, please join.
It's a bit weird thinking about sitting again there in Crete in my shorts while having to wear spreaders and being all flu-ridden here.
Yeah, but it'll be long. No be long coming, John. No be long coming.
May the 12th, guys. May the 12th.
And so, what it does do, it does give you access to our Discord. It allows you to ask questions as well. And we have one question already from our good friend Nathan, who asks, "How many pigs in blankets are too many pigs in blankets in one sitting?" So, how many should you eat at one time?
Susan says anything up to 48 is okay, but 49 is too much.
There you go, Nathan. That sounds like a challenge. We better not challenge Nathan. You know how competitive he is. He'll be sitting there on Christmas Day saying, right, 49 pigs in blankets, plees.
So if you're Dutch, we don't know what pig in a blanket is. So we took it quite literally. So I asked this question this morning at my dinner table, and the kids were like, why would you put a blanket on a pig? It's just a weird thing, though. It's a bit of a... I had to Google it to find out what it was.
Pigs in blankets are pigs wrapped
I now know what it is.
bacon. Yeah, but just in case people out there don't know what it is, and me and John are laughing here, you know. So it's tiny little chipolatas wrapped in bacon we have with our turkey on Christmas Day. So.
Oh, we basically call it sausage rolls.
No, because the sausage roll's in pastry. What?
Sausage roll. It's a pastry, John, and you've had a sausage roll. So before we just jump into MasterChef and all the problems that's got, and someone's calling HR on us, we'll quickly move on to talk about the ghost of Christmas present, which is Winter Wildcards. I mean, EA have certainly got their Santa hat on when it comes to this promo. I actually thought I had been drinking when I looked at the team. It's a cool 25 million because there is so many duplicates. I thought I was seeing double. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at the team, but there is 2 Harlands. There's 2 Vinicius Juniors. I mean, I don't know. Is it me? Is it my eyes, or is this actually the case?
No, I think you're right. And what I did is I also just opened up the website from EA about this because there's so much. I thought it's better than just open any game which just has the database in it. Mm-hmm. So John, what do you think?
Well, I think it's common knowledge. I hate people that have an incorrect position, such as Haaland at centre back, such as Petr Cech as a striker, such as I just don't like that. I know people think it's fun, it's quirky, it's great. For me, it's just a real bugbear. But we're not wanting to focus on the negatives on the lovely Christmas show. So
no,
yeah, there are some.
I didn't actually see that. I saw Ronaldo twice in there. I didn't see there were position changes yet.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh no!
You broke me.
It's like, oh, please don't do this, EA, please don't do this, but they will. So yeah, there are some fantastic cards, and I'm sure if you listen to this pod, you take the game seriously, and you know where to go and have a look at these cards.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some fantastic cards. We'd all love to pack the top end ones, but even some of the lower end ones are still really usable for really cheap prices. But yeah, there you go. Get zoomed in there. Haaland, 94 centre back, 94 striker. Why, oh, why? Now, I get something like a Vinny Jr., where there's a 93 left wing and a 93 striker, because realistically, he can play both those roles. But when was Haaland last at centre back for Man City?
Never seen it. I mean, you do know that YOY spells yo-yo, John, just in case you're wondering. Um, but
Oh, please.
I can already see where this show is going today, though.
what I wanted to ask, I mean, it's a people don't know this. If this is your first show, we do actually take this game seriously. There's been many a controller smashed during this podcast, but John, we have to talk about Dutch players. It's in our contract. We will admit that. So the two Frankie de Jongs are both central midfielders. Is that correct?
Well, that's fine, I think. I mean, Frankie plays CDM. Could play CM, right? That's fine. He's usually a number 6, but he can definitely play an 8 as well.
So can I just? We always say we're not going to talk about the expensive cards. We're not going to talk about the cards that nobody can afford. But I'm looking at the Rice card, a 90 rated CDM at 480,000. Yeah, it's expensive. It is pricey, but is that something that might tempt you guys to spend your coins? Or I know Coach John will go, look, I've only got 15,000 coins, but he's probably got
not anymore.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute, guys.
Life's changed, mate. So when you're in bed for like almost a week, there are things that you can do, you can spend your time useful on. So I actually traded this week, and I found out trading in FC is possible if you have perseverance, time to kill, and just don't really give any. Yeah, I don't have to finish that sentence. So I'm up to 225,000 coins from my 15,000 coins last week.
Wow.
Hey.
I was going to say you need to get sick more often, John, but that's a little bit unfair, isn't it?
I mean, do that for a whole week. I would go crazy if that's my normal day job in FC. But hey, I made some coins, which I think is, for me, it's legendary. But yeah, still can't buy rice.
Not yet. Not yet.
But I don't think this rice is that good, though.
Controversial. Go on, John. You have to explain it as why you don't think he's that good.
It's a fine card, right? But I don't think what stands out for this card that you want, like the other CDM when he came out, this rice card was good because he's tall and I mean he could. There weren't many players available, right? Mm-hmm. Of course, he's got intercept plus and block plus. I think that's what actually makes this card good. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still somewhat slow. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in this again, but still what's slower, low agility. It's not my it's a CDM. Yeah, sure, it's a big CDM with good defending stats, but that it's a fine price as well. But I'm not saying it's going to be a must-do card or something. I think the playstyle pluses is why this promo is extra interesting, and the fact that you now have these options.
Yeah.
But I packed Conte this week, and except for a second playstyle plus, I think I like Conte more.
John, before we get people phoning in and calling Coach John Krampus, is there a player that you can tell us a little bit that you're excited about?
Yeah, sure, mate. Especially when I didn't even see their position changing, but that's a little bit harsh, right? No, so I don't know, mate. I have not looked into the team quite enough. I mean, I do like the fact that there's many players that are affordable. Yep. And I do think, for example, one of the most interesting cards, but that's just the first check I do, is the D-Lab card.
All right.
I'll try to put that on screen for if you're looking at the Spotify. But the D-Lab card is 12,000 coins.
Yep, 12,500 coins. Yes. Ipswich player. Prem player.
Yeah. But playstyles Trivella plus on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 99 speed and 99 sprint speed, acceleration and sprint speed. Maxed out, period. Doom. There it is. And 90 heading accuracy. Well, of course, composure is a little bit low, and everyone will be like, yeah, but hard to link, maybe, I suppose. But Poacher plus on him. I think this is an really interesting card. 4-star, 4-star, pretty tall.
6'1", yep, 6'1".
And because you don't need to boost any, this is either a perfect super sub to toss in because he starts on 99 anyways on the speed. Or it's a card which you can boost in other styles which you don't have often where you can ignore speed on him. So I think that's rather cool actually. And I think for 12k, why not?
Why not? I mean, the thing is, I thought you were going to go with Van der Boomen, John, when you're talking about a player that you're excited about. You know what I mean? For those who don't know, he's an Ajax player.
I got a question about that as well, I think. I think we saw a question passed this week that the next show we had to ask if I am excited by the Kenneth Taylor upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Taylor? And that's my answer.
One player I can see Talking Foot ready to jump in. One player I'd like to just talk about is Malik Tillman, who plays for the mighty PSV, ex-Rangers player.
Wait until Sunday, though, before you call him mighty.
But to be fair, they are the best team at the moment, John, in the Eredivisie, you would say, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, let's wait until Sunday, because if Feyenoord wins Sunday at PSV at home, then the difference is just 4 points. I would see them.
Now, folks, just before we come on the show tonight, John said he wasn't going to talk very much, but we've gone to his favourite subject, Ajax. And now we're on to Feyenoord, which you have to shoehorn in to every podcast. But the Malik Tillman card, 11,250 coins. Absolutely stunning player, I have to say. He's a great player. USA, okay, the league is maybe a bit of a problem, and also the links. But again, for 11,500 for an 88 cam, looks pretty decent. Talking Foot, can you see anything on there for you that you'd be interested in this card? John's
already put his microphone out again. So while John gets his microphone back, I'll take over. This is why we have to keep talking, though. Chris, but I think this is one with the classic 10 as well. Mm-hmm. The plus, still want to see one with the classic 10 plus, of course. But John definitely has an opinion already. So John, you're back?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes, yeah, sorry guys. No, I think the price is great. I think it's a generic, high rated 88, for less than 12,000 coins. If you take out the defending, bullet gang, whatever you want to say, it's that 88 pace, which is great. 90 dribbling. He's got technical plus. So again, should hopefully glide with the ball. He's got loads of different cam players, like playmaker, half winger, classic 10, which is the new one, but also double on the shadow striker. So I just think, why wouldn't you? 87 composure, 90 dribbling, technical plus, as I've already mentioned. Yeah, it's just a nice, good-looking all-round card for what we call cheapest chips.
Yep, 100% agree. Just one reason why you wouldn't, but hey.
And that's because he's at the best club in the league.
Till Sunday. But they have also icons and heroes, and we'll just quickly run through them because it would be very unfair not to mention these cards. Stunning cards in the icons for sure. We have Ronaldo. He has a double card. I think one is 95 rated and the other one is 90. So you'd be happy, with the 90 card, to be honest with you. It's very Brazil heavy. Carlos Alberto there. El Capitan has also got 2 cards. And likewise, we have, as I say, the Socrates SBC, which our good friend Manos has jumped on right away, which is always a great card in FC. But guys, is there any... It's a difficult one because they probably are a little bit expensive for everybody, but what with the Socrates card? Is this one you would spend 452,000 coins on, or your fodder for a 90 rated striker?
I'll jump in. If I had the fodder or the coins, then yes, I would, because of the age I am. Socrates was just something to watch. And yeah, I think it's a really nice card. Power shot, still the talk of the nerf is coming. The nerf is not here yet. So I think, well, yeah, Power Shot Plus, really good card. Yeah, I would definitely do them if I had the cards or the coins, but I have neither.
John, I mean, from a coach point of view, what's your technical eye telling you?
Almost a must do, honestly.
Wow.
I mean, 6'4", right? Am I correct that he's only one position, this one?
I'm just looking.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's a little bit of a disadvantage. I think he always works well for me as a cam. Never used him as a striker before, so that might be interesting. But I mean, if you're purely looking at this card from a striker perspective, I think the 96 composure is really outstanding. Finishing is low, so he needs a boost in finishing. I wouldn't mind the speed too much. So if you give something on him that will improve his shooting, and not necessarily, I think maybe a finisher would give a 99 finishing, 96 shot power with power shot plus, 99 volleys, 93 penalties, 95 attack position, 99 dribbling, 91 agility, 6'4" player with 96 composure, and 5-star skill move for so weak foot. Well, and advanced forward plus plus and poacher plus plus, false 9 plus and target forward plus. So you can basically go at every role you want the striker to be in. Plus his links, plus the fact he's just an SBC. I'm very much inclined to say he's a must-do because he'll stay in your team for a long while. He's very much linkable, extremely versatile. And I don't know many 6'4" players that have this kind of agility on them. I mean, the only one that gets close size-wise is Holland, but he's not comparable to this acrobat demon, right?
So a
Yeah.
must do. Are you going to do it, John? That's the question. Are you going to do it? Is he going to be in your team come Christmas?
Well, I'd say if I had the coins, but actually I might be able to come a long way now. I'm not sure because of the fact my team's pretty much sort of sorted. But then again, this is one of those players that you could just keep in the team for a long while. Last year, not last week, I wish it was last week. Last year I had that same with Pele, which I packed around Christmas time. And it just stayed in my team all year.
Just dropping that in there, gentlemen and ladies.
No, it's not a. But I mean, sometimes you have those players. I think giving everyone the option to actually get this card, and it's not early, but like this time around, pretty good. I think, and I don't know what the 89 currently does. It's 180,000, of course, dropped 90,000 with the release of this one. But that's a steal as well. But I think this is, 96 composure. I don't have the stats. I should have prepared this better, but there aren't that many with that high composure either. Right?
No. So he is a must do, but I think there's also another SBC. Is it Sane? Is that right, guys? We'll just quickly skip to that one as well. We know there is a lot of expensive cards out there. You know, we could talk about here all night and we'd still be here at New Year. And we try not to talk about the expensive cards. The expensive cards are great. Vinny Jr., Haaland will be amazing. You've heard that Socrates has got the thumbs up from both guys. So let's finish on a high here. The Sane card, is this thumbs up or thumbs down?
If you're asking me, I think 100% thumbs up as well. Fast, good, 5-star weak footed, 4-star skill move, amazing set of rules, inside forward plus plus, inside forward plus plus on the other side. So again, versatile on the wing, versatile on the midfield. You can play left midfielder as well, a little bit less. He's got the finesse shot plus and the regular power shot with a regular quick step, rapid flare, first touch. I can't see anything wrong with this card. And then he's 150 something thousand.
Yeah, I think that it's not a mega criticism. It's probably the league that he's in. There's probably not that many people using Bundesliga players. There'll be the odd
but still,
Harry
there's
Kane, Player of the Month, etc. But I still think it's a great card. It's just, yeah.
John, the stats here is zero chemistry we're looking at, non-boosted.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Chris is a prime example of somebody that if he doesn't have his chemistry fix, he has serious issues.
Sure, but then again, it's also we come out of a period where and we are in a period where icons aren't unobtainable either.
Mhm.
The cards we got last week, they got double boosts on their, or at least they start on 2 as well. I mean, chemistry should not really be an issue if you want
But
to
that's
fit
what I'm
a
saying.
card in. You're
That's
fine.
the only if you want to call it, John. That was the only criticism is the league that he's in, and it's not even a big criticism. It's just some people, Chris, for example, if he doesn't have 33 chemistry, he's not happy.
I mean, that's a discussion for a different time. But even if that's the case, I think this get this card for 150,000 coins feels like a present on its own.
Absolute 5-star weak foot in a finesse shot, cutting in from the wings. Brilliant.
Any wing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the case, right? You can play him left or right.
And there will be some links because a lot of people will still have Malin, and that's obviously Bundesliga player of the month, Harry Kane, possibly. So there is workarounds for those that are chemistry addicted. But yeah, I think it's a great card.
No, definitely. So just on the promo, guys, I think we're for our point of view, our good friend Ingvi has asked a question. He says, do you think this promo is to get more people back to the game, or is it EA wanting people to spend their Christmas money on points?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think it's both. It's always both. Let's be honest, the model of the game now is microtransactions. There's no getting away from it. Pretty much all games have microtransactions now. This one is in your face. The packs are there. Dan talks about it all the time. 22, 23, 25 packs that cost you 750,000 coins, 500,000 coins, loads of FIFA points, £80 pack, whatever you want to do. That's not going to change. They're always going to be pushing you to the store. That's it. However, there are packs and players out there that are not expensive, and you may only put on £5 or £10 of your Christmas money, or you won't put any money on at all. Like John, he's traded. So I think there's both. That's you.
Well,
When you go, John.
I traded this week for the first time in my life. Just a little bit of
Balance.
reflection. Like, I mean, normally I do. I'm not lying, right? I do spend points as well, right? So.
Yeah, I do think the other game. Let's be honest, UFL was out. Yeah, it's mixed reviews. Some people really enjoy it. Some people are saying it's not quite there yet, but they're aware of that. I think Dan, Nate, Shaq have talked about it a lot on the Tuesday Club show. That it feels like, and it's hard to always get exact numbers, but participation is down this year. Whatever reason that is, I think they take all that into the mix and go, right, how do we get people engaged in this? Is their game. How do we get people engaged in the game? Good cards, good promotions, right? How do we make money? Let's have lots of packs on the store. How do we get, right? So an R9 dropped, was it £3-4-5 million in a week? Because everybody knew this new R9 double play style was coming, right? The pros will want the new one. They've got the thousands of pounds to rip open those packs. I think it's a balancing act. I think this game, this cycle now, this promotion is about both engaging people that are a wee bit unengaged. And we've said that with the last one, the Globetrotters, there were some good cards at cheap prices. Winter Wildcards the same. There's some mega cards at mega prices. And realistically, the odds of getting them are not from your 82 times 3. It's from the big store pack. So I think it's a balance.
Coach John, do you have an opinion on this promo?
I mean, of course, they have to sell packs, but they're not selling packs by putting a Sane and affordable Socrates out there either. So how critical I could have been lately. Last week was good. This week starts out with a bang on both sides. If you want to spend, there's plenty to spend on. I think there's plenty of packs to make worth spending on, perhaps. I'm not spending. I mean, taking the kids away for the weekend already. I'm spending enough. But this, like even the 82 times 14 being back, upgrade pads being back, 2 good SBCs on night 1 being back. Also changes in weekend league. We didn't mention it yet, but of course they brought it back from winning 3 out of 5 to winning 3 out of 6 next season on. It's already going to be 2 out of 5, John, I think that changes.
Yeah, 2 out of 5, so 40% win rate.
Exactly. So sure, it will bring players back. It also, don't forget, we see it every year at foot coaching as well, and at the food and review numbers after the Christmas period. How many people get their first hands in a game like this at Christmas?
Mm-hmm. No, of course.
It's a better way to enter than start in September and start with 11 gold cards, eh? So
No, definitely.
Yes.
John, I know you have been unwell this week, Coach John. I know you've been unwell this week, but did you happen to catch the FC Pros on Monday night? And some of the performances, I think some of them were absolutely amazing. I don't know if you've managed to catch any of the games or that.
yes, but professional statement here. I'm going to refrain of actually saying too much about it because of certain two NDAs and one thing I can't really don't feel good about talk about certain someone's performance, if you know what I mean, from who I previously worked with. I don't think it's fair to say something about it after we stopped working with him. So,
But there was some.
You don't have much with me, honestly.
No, but there was some.
Lowe's book.
There was some stunning performances, wasn't there? I mean, there was some amazing play. And one thing we were getting asked there, and the reason I was asking that, John, is I just happened to catch it. I'm not a huge watcher of the pro scene, but we do have a question. If I can find it, he urgently seeks here is Clutchy is asking, do you foresee any major changes to the meta over the rest of the game? Or are we stuck with this over-the-top through ball in FC25 like we were stuck with runs to the byline and cutback in FC24? And I was going to add to that as well, potentially the power shot meta as well. Do we feel the game will change with the patches going forward, or are we like this till we get to summertime?
Putting me in a tough spot here, mate.
Well, I'll go to topic food first then.
No, I'll explain why maybe first then. Last year, around this time, we had a similar question, which I quite frankly answered the way I wanted to answer this question. But that led to a lot of people complaining about my my opinions about the game. But I'm going to be honest because I don't think it's fair to like not to comment on it and so. I still stand by the point that the cutback meta or something last year still isn't a thing. If you used the second man of the partial team press last year, and same goes this year, the true balls and last year the cutbacks are still very much manageable, and still very much not overpowered at all. And if you get a lot of these true balls and if you get a lot of cutbacks last year, you're simply not using the partial team press well enough. You will concede a goal now and then. I think the far biggest issue with this game, which I have not seen many people talk about yet, is still free kicks are just goals always. Yeah. If talk about Monday, if a corners are still very strong, and I don't think EA can't change much about it. But if they just say you have 5 seconds to shoot, that's enough to make all the fancy tuning around and getting every player in the perfect position to get the most out of a situation is done, and you fix the whole issue and you up the speed of the games as well. I think that's a much bigger issue. But partial team press, and we have tutorials on I think there's tutorials on the YouTube channels. I think there's definitely tutorials on the Patreon channel. We'll do that. Coming back on power shots, EA already said they were looking into these things in the last pitch notes, I think, for that. And if you're facing trouble with those true balls, I take one CDM, put it at holding, practice partial team press, and most of your words will be gone. I said it to John last time we met actually in Edinburgh. If someone spams 4 true balls versus me, I know they're going to lose. With all due respect, they will lose because I know what they're doing. It's their only trick. I can beat them at that game. And without sounding arrogant, these things aren't broken because how much have you seen them this Monday on the pro scene? Mm-hmm. What was truly broken? Lobbed through ball, not because that gave space, but because you can finesse shot that first touch shot then again. Or you could first touch a power shot from that. that was broken because that was unstoppable. They changed the goalkeepers a little bit now. That's much better. I think it needs a little bit more tuning, but that was broken. That was like literally unstoppable. Free kicks are literally unstoppable. You can't stop a free kick if the other player knows what he's doing. Like you can't, like
Yeah, you can't position your goalie. There's nothing you can do
or hit the
defensively to
defender.
stop it.
penalties are harder to score than free kicks. I think those things are more broken. Do I see changing the meta? 100%. Because the moment that new patch hits, or the next pro tournament hits, someone will play a different formation. That will be a sort of meta formation. And on the lower levels, I don't mean lower like div 5 is low. I mean everything below level div 1 or 2. That's what I mean with sort of low level. And I'm at 2 currently myself either, right? So don't get me wrong there. I think you see those through ball methods are being through balls played a lot more because it's so easy to try, and many people find it hard to defend. Not necessarily it's so strong too strong to stay in the game. And here's my counterpoint: if anyone has played UFL over the last couple of weeks, good luck doing it there, because there the passing is broken, so either it doesn't work or it's unstoppable, and 2, defending is harder to do actually correct. So a lot of people are complaining about a lot of different shots there, but actually there it is the same. People aren't used to defending it either. So I think there's just 2 different ways of scoring on different levels. And I think true ball is just the easiest way to get an attempt in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's broken. Do we see it changed? If that's what you're facing now, I doubt it. No, because I don't think it's that broken.
No
Sorry. Sorry.
No,
So the voice is better for that part.
exactly.
So
Not talking very much, guys. Just so we know, John has said he's not going to talk very much during this podcast.
Mate,
but
I'm drinking tea. That shows how much
we've got him on
I
his
need
favourite
help.
subject. Just I think one last question before we talk about the ghost of Christmas future coming up, what we look forward to in the new year. Adama is asking, just an interesting question I noticed. The new Bellingham has incisive pass plus, as does my Mane Evo. Last year, chip through balls brought up the incisive pass gold icon. My menu Evo doesn't have that icon if I play a chip through ball, but the new Jude does. Any ideas?
I'd report it as a bug, honestly. Could be something with the Evo when he gets attached, it doesn't show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in those. I see some conspiracy theories, but it's always with the Evos. So I think it's more a visual bug or something they just can't apply well in the visualization of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's actually not working, because else people would stop Evoing a long time ago as well. So if a card gets brought out, maybe it's a tick they just enter. But once you apply something afterwards, I don't know if that tick is already ticked, if that makes sense. I think there has to be something in there, because like I said, if Evos were really broken, then people would stop Evoing.
And what I'm going
We
to do,
don't.
guys, what Adam also put is Merry Christmas, boys, and thanks for everything again this year. We want to say thanks to everyone in the Discord and Patreon, and also you listeners out there. Thank you so much for your support. It has been wildly appreciated. This is why we do this podcast. We love doing it, but we love doing it for you guys, and you're the guys, the reason why we do this podcast. But just before we end the pods, I think the ref's looking at the final whistle that we've got. We did ask the boys some questions before they come on, and they were: which FC player is on Santa's nice list, and what FC player is on the naughty list? Which player have you never got on with, and which player is your absolute star this year? Talking Foot, you can go first.
Right, I'm going to throw a curveball here. It is a 79 rated Evo Nicky Clark with under 80 composure, but in rivals for me, he is amazing. I just actually really enjoy playing with that card more than my Vinny Jr. I just think it's fun. I don't know if it's probably that emotional attachment, because it's my Saints past and present club. It's in the same division as my main team. I'm scoring more goals with him than I am with Vinny Jr. or Ian Rush. I just really, really enjoy playing him, and I can't wait to Evo him up some more.
And the player who's on the naughty list?
I can't pronounce his name. I'm going to get the butcher this. Is it Marquisio, the hero card? I just think it's false starts. it just doesn't play well. He just doesn't do anything attacking. He doesn't do anything defensively. He just is a body on the pitch.
John, you've not read your contract. We cannot criticise Juve players. That's in our contract. Do we not know that? Sorry, guys. Just to keep John. We'll cut that bit out, so listeners, you won't hear that.
Oh, sorry. The player I don't like is
John. Do you want to come back and
After
stick up
this,
for
I
your...
have nothing to say. I could insult a St. Johnson players, but then again, I've never played any. So,
Oh, shocker, Rooney. Shocker, Rooney. John, go on then. Give us your nice list and who's getting a bit of coal from Santa this
well,
year.
I think Son has been absolutely amazing again, right? Somehow I always get my hands on a special card from him a year. Sometimes team of the year, team of the season last year. This year I had the Centurion card, the left winger. What a card. It's just absolutely amazing. He can come. I've seen him score a corner, by the way, this weekend. Well, I was watching replays and actually being bored this week, just watching all the matches back. So, well, he feels like that in game as well, I think. Amazing. Yeah, every year that card just works. So I'm really happy with that.
And the player who's getting a bit of coal, getting a lump of coal in his stocking, who's that going to be?
Yeah, that's the problem is if a player sometimes doesn't click with me, I'm never trying again.
Yeah.
I think, I don't want to insult too many people again. So
Go on, John, insult away. Come on. It's what people want to hear. They want to hear the insults.
did Wout Weghorst get a card? No. The card I really did not like this year and also last year is Xabi Alonso.
Okay.
And I know people use get him in the team. He is Mr. Invisible for me always. And Petit could be on my good card as well, like on my list from these are the players always stand out. I have that with Xabi Alonso. I have Gerrard in my team. Exactly the same with Gerrard. It's like some reason it just never clicks. It's maybe because I need cards that are a little bit better at the ball, on the ball itself. Like when they have the ball, they can sort of move around. I have no idea, but it's always after a match. I'm like, yeah, he's still my team. He looks good. Can't find anything wrong with this card. But what did he actually I have no. And then you look at the passes. Sure, he hits the ball and never missed much, but there's no shots, there's no assists, there's no tackles that stand out. I don't know, just invisible cards for me. For some reason, not bad cards, but if there's one player that's always going to be on my naughty list, there goes my voice actually. The one player that's going to be on my naughty list that everyone always hypes up and I never ever get along with, and including this year, and a back two and a salt boat, Ferland Mendy, the left back from Madrid. I have no idea why people like that card so much. Udogi this year at the start of the card, easily just as good.
Shocker, Rooney, John. Shocker, Rooney. That's a great.
To be fair, I packed a Mendy and sold him. I thought, 17,000 coins. Thank you very much.
A great card. A great card. Just recently fell out of my team, I have to say. But for me, the naughty list is Johan Cruyff. I just cannot get on with that card. I know John was waxing lyrical about the Icon SBC we just done with him lately, but I've done him once before and I will never touch him. He was anonymous, poor, great player in his day, but for me,
Chris has read his contract.
For me, when I play with him, he was anonymous. Like you say, John, he did nothing. He was getting pushed off the ball left, right, and centre. And a guy who is always will be on Santa's very
Cyril
good boy list.
Dessers.
No, not the Nigerian nightmare, my friend. Not him. It is Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? He is a nightmare. He's either a nightmare for defenders or he's a nightmare for the fans in the stand. He's one or the other. Big Cyril, we love him, to be honest with you. But Kai Havertz, for me, always in my team. 6'4", skinny, has to run about in the rain to get wet. He's that slim, but he is just an amazing card. I have his road to the knockout card. He's 90 rated now, and he has been in the team for ages. And he is, along with Vieira and Socrates, these tall, skinny players with extra long legs are a must for me. And that's why I'll be joining my good friend Marios in doing the Socrates SBC, Godrates as we call him. But
I've decided I will also do Socrates.
So
Because I just looked at my team. You know who my striker currently is? Still the Santa Cruz card.
Which is a good card.
Yeah, sure, but I think he might be.
But he's not Socrates.
No, exactly. So, yeah, might be a good replacement.
And guys, just last wee bit of content that we've got to do is, what are you looking forward to for FC25? Let's keep it game related. What would you like to see in 25 for FC25? John, you go first, talking foot.
We have to have a goalkeeper evolution. Otherwise, this game is over for me. Honestly, I've seen Johnston past and present. I've got a silver goalkeeper, and I'm facing all these god strikers game after game after game, right? And I'm doing okay. But Jesus, for the love of God, please, it's Christmas, Santa's wish list. Give us a goalkeeper Evo. Even if it's fake, just give us one. You can't even apply any card, the colour cards, the red cards, the purple cards, the gold cards. You can't change them. You can't add the 200, the top goal scorer, your most influential player icon. You can't put anything on goalkeeper Evo. It's horrible. It's torturous. Please, 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 please fix it. Santa's wish list.
There we go. John, for you as an
pretty good one, eh?
As an ex-goalkeeper, do you agree? An Evos for goalkeepers?
I couldn't care less about Evos, I'm honest. You know that, mate. If that makes John happy, I really hope he gets it.
So, what about yourself, John? What would you like to see in FC25?
Well, last year I actually said I find it horrific they haven't given us a special Buffon card yet, and we got the icon Buffon this year. So and the SBC. So basically, I already got this year what I wanted last year. Let's see if we can continue that trend. Now I want a proper attention to the smaller leagues at the end of the season. And with smaller league, and I know I'm going to be a little bit stingy here about Eredivisie and League Portugal, for example. But these are, like, if you look at the Champions League now and the Europa League, they aren't performing worse than Italy, right? They're actually, if you look at the list, they're 6th and 7th. If you're looking at the national squad, they're 6th and 7th. The MLS gets more attention than the Eredivisie and the Liga NOS. I think I just want a proper week where we can get those teams. And also, for example, the Scottish League. If you look at the amount of Scottish listeners to us, I think there should be plenty of chances for smaller teams to get special players. I know Evo helps with that a little bit, but I want a promotion that you need to sell packs. I totally get that. But if next year the team of the season hits, I'm not even talking about team of the year, team of the season hits, give us Premier League on a Friday, perfectly fine. Give us one of the other leagues on a Monday for the rest of the week until Friday, and keep them all in pack.
Yeah,
perfectly fine. And there's no reason to be stingy with 6 players from a league again, like they did last year. Because I still remember the year the final wins a championship. Again, that happens once in a decade at most. Right now, it almost happened twice in a decade, but it doesn't happen too often. And we got a team of the season with 6 players, which didn't even have a final player in it, which came later with SBCs, which was that felt it's something to look forward to. I think proper attention to smaller leagues includes the second league in the UK, right, in England. I think it includes the Brazilian, the championship. I think it includes the Brazilian league. I think that's also one of the leagues that has a major amount of fans. The Mexican league, the amount of fans that there are insane, right? It should get a little bit more respect and a little bit more attention at these promotions, and especially team of the season where it will last 6-8 weeks. There's time to split it all out a bit, even if now they take 2 weeks where there's no content or rehash contents. Perfect weeks for that. I think all the leagues deserve that as well.
Here, John. I don't really have a wish list for 25. I have moaned enough this year. What I would like to say, EA, this week for a bit of festive cheer, you have done great. I have to say, people were complaining, including myself, putting the SP in friendlies, but actually it was quite a good mode. The Nations, I got to use a lot of cards I didn't know have in my team. The fact that you limited the highest rating as well, I think it was 88 or 87 was the highest rated card you got. I thought it was great. made for a lot of fun games, and for people like myself who are struggling with the competitive side of it, and yeah, I'm including Rivals in that as well. It's been a bit of a godsend this week. It's kept me in the game because Rivals has certainly been a tough gig this week. So yeah, EA, a bit of festive cheer. Thank you so much for the content this week and the SP and the friendlies. It's been a well worth doing, and I've enjoyed it very much. But guys, that is the end of the show. We are back on the 8th of January. Thank you so much for listening. But I'm going to give the guys a few final words. Talking Foot, you anything to add, please?
No, I just want to wish everybody a very festive and enjoyable Christmas. I know it can be a tough time for a lot of people. Obviously, it is the time for family and friends, but for some people, it is a very tough time. So please reach out to anybody, us, the community, Samaritans, all these organisations, if you are feeling lonely. But yeah, I just wish everybody has a safe and festive time.
Yeah, I'd like to echo those thoughts as well. And what I will do, I've hosted the show tonight. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I'm going to pass the floor to our boss man, John.
I'm not the boss man, but thanks for allowing me a small moment still. Seriously, though, I want to thank you for tuning in to Food and Review, of course. As we wrap up today's show, we want to thank or take a moment to reflect on what truly matters, and that is you, our incredible community. In a world that often feels divided, it is our shared passion for this beautiful game of football and this connection that we've built together that keeps us going, especially on these tougher days. You remind us why we do what we do. Foot might be a game, but this community is so much more. It's friendships, it's shared laughs, it's support. And for that, we are endlessly grateful. And from all of us here at Food and Review, we wish you and your loved ones a joyful and peaceful holiday season. Take care of each other, and let's keep building this amazing space together. See you next year. And with that, it's time for us to drop it.
It.
Interview.